Radha. And Prabhupada would very emotionally and blissfully narrate his parents' example. In fact, the summary study of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Srila Prabhupada wrote Krishna book, which was the first revelation in the Western world of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka. And Krishna dedicated the book to his father, Gaur Mohande, who gave him this conception of loving Krishna from his earliest childhood. And he said, and later, my own beloved Guru Maharaj, the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, gave me oh so much more. So here is Nanda Maharaj, the king of Braj, appealing to Gargamuni, please perform this name-giving ceremony, because this ceremony will invoke blessings upon these two babies, my children. Balaram, he knew, was Rohini and Vasudev's child. But the child was entrusted in his care. And ultimately, aham bija pratapita. Krishna tells, I am the seed-giving father and mother of all living beings. So is this child actually mine? It's Krishna's child. The soul belongs to Krishna. The body is made of Krishna's energy. But the child is entrusted in my care. And the way we care is with love. The highest love is to be an instrument of Krishna's love. So Nanda Maharaj was very, very much thinking the urgency that this name-giving ceremony must be performed to bless these children. And he told Gargamuni, if you're fearful that Kamsa will find out about you doing this, then we'll do it completely in secret. Not even my relatives will know. No public, no family, just us. Yes. Like that. The mood of Nanda Maharaj was not anything except for the true benefit of his child. There was not going to be any pomp, any ceremony, any festival. If he could have done that, he would have. Nandotsava, the birth ceremony, was incredible for Krishna. They were dancing, they were singing. Everyone in Vrindavan were dressed in their best garments. There was big feasts. They were throwing butter and yogurt all over each other. And it was a great festival. Something we can't even imagine. But the whole festival of Nandotsav, they performed the Abhishekam of Sri Krishna, was just for everyone to bless Krishna. That was the purpose. If you make everyone happy, they will shower their blessings. If you make everyone happy, if you make all these devotees happy, Krishna will reciprocate by fulfilling your wish to bless the child. So here is Nandotsav, the birth ceremony, samskara. Such a festival. Everybody dancing and singing and celebrating. And here is the next samskara, the birth, and it's completely secret and private. They hid in the Goshala, where the cows were. Nanda Maharaj did not even tell any of his family members. He just wanted that blessing for his children. And since Janmashtami's coming, and soon, we will only discuss the part about Balaram today. And Gargamuni, interesting, he says, this child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Rama. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Shankarshan. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami tells the story of the birth of Krishna and Balaram. That fateful night, the marriage of Devaki and Vasudeva, Kamsa was so affectionately bringing his sister, cousin sister, to her husband's home. The very night of the marriage, a voice came from the sky, Kamsa, you are a fool. The 8th child of your sister will be the cause of your death. Suddenly his mood changed. From an affectionate brother with tears in his eyes, trying to make his sister happy, he grabbed her by the hair, his eyes glowing with wrath, pulled his sword, was about to sever her head. Shows how circumstances can change a person's consciousness. But Vasudeva pleaded with him. Philosophy didn't work for Kamsa. He spoke really good philosophy, but Kamsa couldn't hear it. He was stuck in fear and ego, arrogance. But Vasudeva was so honest when he promised, every child I will give to you, because you have no danger from your sister. Kamsa trusted him. And when they were in prison, after the 6 children were slain, they represented the 6 sons of Marichi, who represents the mind, who are the children of the mind in this world. Lust, anger, envy, arrogance, greed, and illusion. And in order for Krishna to manifest within our heart, we must remove those 6 enemies. They were actually children. They were cursed in a previous birth to be killed in this way. But they were liberated. So at that time, Shankarshan, Balaram, entered the womb of Devaki. Krishna instructed Yogamaya to go to Gokul. He said, I want you to transfer the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, who is at Nanda Maharaj's home. And then I want you to take birth as my sister from Yashoda. Now to transfer Balaram, Srila Prabhupada writes in purport, that's really a big task. To take Balaram out of somebody's womb and move to somebody else's womb. Yogamaya was thinking this is what... But she said, so be it. Because she understood with the instruction of Krishna, by the will of Krishna, anything is possible. For any of us. That is Krishna's grace. Srila Prabhupada quotes from Haribamsa. Rohini Devi was living at Nanda Maharaj's house. She was 7 months pregnant. At midnight, she had a dream. It was a horrible dream. She dreamed that she had a miscarriage. Soon after, she woke up, and it was true. There was a miscarriage, at least apparently. She was feeling great motherly distress. And at that moment, Yogamaya spoke to her and told her, this is all my doing. I am attracting the child Devaki into your womb. Rohini is the eternal mother of Balaram from the spiritual world. And when Devaki's child entered her womb, he actually took shelter of his eternal mother. Krishna told Yogamaya that this child who you are going to be transferring, his name is Shankarshan because he's going to unite 2 families. His name is Bala because he will give the residents of Gokul so much happiness, and his name will be Baladev. His name is Rama because of that happiness, and his name is Baladev because he will exhibit such limitless spiritual strength. So it's interesting, Garga Muni is giving the same names that Krishna told Yogamaya for Balaram. Srila Prabhupada, he said many times that we pray to Lord Balaram for spiritual strength. Balaram is the original guru. Krishna and Balaram together live forever in the spiritual world of Goloka. Srila Prabhupada, he wrote, on behalf of all of the great acharyas in scriptures, the difference between Krishna and Balaram is Krishna is dark like a monsoon cloud, and Balaram is white in complexion like a spring cloud. They are one and the same. Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna in the spiritual world. This gives the ultimate emphasis in our spiritual life on the principle of loving relationship based on service. Beyond this material world of birth and death, we have our little earth planet. Above that is Swargaloka, the heavenly worlds. Above there is Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, the higher planets of the great rishis and sages. Beyond that is Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma. Brahma lives 311 trillion years. Beyond this material existence is the Brahma Jyoti, the Paravyoma, the eternal spiritual sky, which is forever filled with divine light. Within that spiritual sky are the planets of Vaikuntha, where the Lord is eternally residing. And above all the Vaikunthas is Goloka. Now, when we say first expansion, we can't exactly say it's chronological, because it's eternal. How can you have chronology in eternity? If Balaram is eternally existing, then how is he coming from Krishna? If Krishna is eternally existing, how is he coming from Nanda and Yashoda? These are wonderful mysteries. Because the concept of chronology in the spiritual world is not based on the influence of time as we know it in this material world. It is simply a pastime. It's simply a wonderful, wonderful arrangement of the Lord to increase the loving relationships within pastimes. Leela. So Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. From Balaram comes the Chaturvyuha, Shankarshan, Aniruddha, Vasudev, Pradyumna. From that comes Narayan, the Narayan who is the Lord of Vaikuntha. From Narayan comes a secondary Chatur, the four. And from them, from Shankarshan comes Mahavishnu, Karunodakshai Vishnu, who's the Lord of the entire creation. He expands himself to be Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Lord of each universe. He expands himself to be Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Lord within the heart of every living being. And that Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who has a spiritual planet of Svetadvip, it is from he that all the avatars are manifested. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatuskrita. Krishna comes again and again and again into this world. All these great avatars, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, Ram, they all manifest through Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And the cause of all causes of all of these is Balaram. He's the origin of all incarnations, the origin of all Purusha avatars, but his origin is Krishna. And Balaram, he's the original guru because the master of everything that exists, eternally his life is to serve Krishna. As Narayan, when the Lord appears as Narayan, Balaram appears as Ananta Shesha, to be his bed, his umbrella. Balaram expands in the spiritual world to be the spiritual world. He becomes the Lord's shoes his jewelry, his chair, his bed. In every possible way, he's simply serving the Lord, giving pleasure to the Lord. And in reciprocation, the Lord is always giving pleasure to Balaram. Similarly, the Hladini Shakti, Sri Radha, who's none different than Krishna. For all of eternity, she's the servant of Krishna, giving pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna, for all eternity, feels himself indebted as the servant of Radha, giving pleasure to Radha. So this is the sum and substance of the highest revelations of yoga, of spirituality, is loving relationship. Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Balaram is one with Krishna. They are the self-same person. But eternally they're different also. And that difference is for one reason only, to facilitate loving reciprocation. And this is bhakti yoga, the yoga that reconnects us to that love. All the gopis are simply assisting Sri Radha, and all the gopis are simply assisting Balaram in loving Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting and some of his leading devotees were discussing expanding this movement in different properties that they were acquiring and different problems how to resolve and distributing so many millions of books. And Prabhupada was in a meditative mood. They asked Srila Prabhupada, one devotee, God knows why, but this devotee asked Prabhupada, what are you thinking? Srila Prabhupada said, I'm just thinking, what did Yashodamai put in Krishna's lunchbox today? The goal of everything is that simplicity. To enter into the Leela of the Lord. So yes, Krishna and Balaram are one. Radha, Krishna are one. But this separate identity that they simultaneously have is simply for the purpose of loving exchange. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam. Mamaivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. We are all expansions of Krishna. Each and every one of us. Wherever there's life, there's a spirit soul, and that soul is a part of Krishna. An eternal soul. And why did Krishna expand himself into all of us? For eternal loving reciprocation. Ananda. Krishna wants each and every one of us to taste the sweetest, highest happiness. And Krishna's feeling the sweetest, highest happiness in giving that happiness to us. And we are feeling that happiness and giving that happiness to Krishna. And that is the supreme reality. Above liberation. Above birth and death forever. And Balaram, he's the example of the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. In every way serving. In every relationship Krishna has, Balaram is there in the lead. Shantaras, he expands himself as the clothes, the shoes, and the abode of the Lord. Dasyaras, he's engaged in serving the Lord in every possible way. Sakyaras, he's Krishna's, the leader of all the cowherd boys. Vatsalyaras, he's Krishna's older brother, so he has parental affection for Krishna. And in